Hey, everybody. It's your friend Adam. Alien Earth is finally over, and we're here to talk about it. I'm very excited to talk to Sitch about this. Sitch told me
Cannot
he
wait.
went, Sitch told me before the stream that he went from just trying to deal with the boredom of this show to actually actively hating it, which was kind of my journey as well. I tapped out, I think, around episode 3, where I was just
Wow.
like not really interested. There was no hooks, which is all the subject matter stuff I love. Obviously, robots. I'm a sucker for robots, right? I'm a sucker
Mhm.
for aliens. I've been painting xenomorphs my entire life. I love the
That's true.
xenomorph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam has all these xenomorph paintings. I didn't think about
Mickey's
that. Yes.
versus aliens was one of my
Yes.
things. I maybe when AI takes off, I'll finally be able to make my Mickey Mouses versus aliens movie franchise.
Hmm.
So I think Alien is with Disney now, right? So they
It
have
makes
the
sense.
IP to good old Mickey Mouse as well.
Maybe
So
here's your painting idea. Okay, you have an alien and it's holding its chest as a Mickey bursts out of it
yes, yeah, that
because
would be
now
cool.
Disney has controlled the aliens.
That's perfect. Yes.
Yes.
So, but unfortunately, the Alien franchise is at an all-time low, which means we might be able to pick it up cheap to do to do the Mickey versus Alien. So the I guess we've been starting with, is there anything likable about this series that you completely fucking hated? So, is there anything that you liked about it?
Um, well, let's see. I went through the three stages of hate in this show. Okay. The first stage was this is a show that's asking some interesting questions. I'm curious to see where it goes. There's some setups here that I thought would have been interesting, such as what does it mean to be human? Because they sort of asked this question in the beginning about, oh, well, if we transfer your consciousness to a robot body, you're not going to have neurotransmitters. You're not going to have normal emotions and desires like hunger or sleep or any of these things that control human behavior in a way that we don't think of ourselves as being controlled. Like when you're hungry and that makes you a little bit more irritated or agitated or angry, we don't like generally be like, oh, my behavior is being controlled by like a biological mechanism in my body. I'm not acting as like 100% rational agent. And if you strip all these things away and you put them in like a robot, how is that going to change people's behaviors? They ask this question right in the beginning of the show,
They
and then
do,
they do
yeah.
absolutely nothing whatsoever with this very interesting question of what it means to be human at all, even though you would think that since so much of this is about putting humans in computers or humans in robot bodies, that this would be a central theme to the show instead of just never bringing it up ever again.
Yeah, it sucks. They do the title card with the opening premise. There are these three different forms of life that are kind of competing in the marketplace. And then they never
Yes.
explore it.
Yeah.
The B story of the two corporations competing, I mean, that doesn't even have a satisfying resolution, right?
No.
Does she they have the trial for, and he's supposed to turn over the aliens, but I he never does. Like that never happens, right?
Yes.
He never turns them over. He never studies them to the point where he gets what he wants. Like no, this 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 show is amazingly terrible in that it doesn't really satisfy any of the goals that it sets out. Like there's a lot of setups that there's absolutely no payoff for, and there's a lot of payoffs that there's absolutely no setups for. And the big payoff at the end, I'm curious what you thought of the ending, because
Mm-hmm.
it left me thinking, what the fuck? Like what is this? So I guess we'll just jump to the end. In the end, they're basically captured and they escape. And she throws out this idea.
Who's they? Yeah, use some
Oh yeah,
pronouns
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. So there's this group of kids that are uh,
Robots.
basically, yeah, they're kids that have been dumped into robot bodies that
Mm-hmm.
are the thrust of the show. They're basically the protagonists of the show, which is another problem because sometimes, I mean, there's no real moral center to these people. So you're wondering, why are these people the protagonists, right?
Mhm.
Other people are controlling them and they're doing things that are frankly quite immoral. So, but in the end of the show, they end up taking over the people who have literally saved their lives from a terminal illness, right?
Mhm.
Throughout the show, those people become the bad guys, and they do this. The people have them incarcerated. They get out of jail and incarcerate the people who are running this
And they
program.
kill tons of innocent people
They
along the
kill
way.
tons of innocent people along the way. Yeah, it's completely ridiculous.
So they're not good guys at this point.
Right.
All.
So, and in the end of the show, they ask the main character, who's a total Mary Sue, like, what do we do now? And she says, we rule. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Like, normally in a TV show or in a movie or any story that you're telling, there's some sort of central narrative, right?
Mhm.
And you have a protagonist that's working towards achieving something. Like, a lot of times when people complain about movies not having some sort of narrative thread, they're talking about it not having some sort of central goal that people are working towards, that you constantly come back and touch on through the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
Is this person going to achieve this life mission of theirs? Well, the hero in this, the main character Wendy, really has had no life goal through the entire thing. So in the end, when she escapes, like, you don't really know the motivation of why she's escaping. Like, if you paused it right before she answers the question, what do we do now? I mean, what would you think she would say? They've had
Well,
like
her original
zero setups for her to
Right.
to say anything.
So her first goal was to find her brother. Then she finds her brother, or rather, her, like, just the show, the gods of the show make her brother and her collide. Like, she's an actively. I mean, I guess she sort of acts on it to find her brother. You know, she sees that he's going into the tower, right? And she's like, "We need to go into the tower." And then the guy's like, "Okay."
That's
I
episode
guess.
2.
Yeah, that's
her
episode
first
2.
goal is really
Right.
to live, which she satisfies pretty easily because they put her into the
Well, they
robot
put her in a
body.
robot body,
She
yeah.
starts
And
off
then-
as a
yes.
terminally ill child in
Right. And
episode
then
1.
it's
In
to
episode
find-
2, she wants to find her brother.
Right. Then it's to
Yeah.
find her brother. She finds her brother.
Right.
And then it becomes
So that
sort of
thread is gone.
Right. So then it becomes that there really isn't a goal for a bunch of episodes. And then her brother is like,
Well, no.
we need to escape the compound.
Episode 2 is really saving her brother, because her brother gets abducted by the alien, if you
Yes.
remember. So she has to
Yes.
go. And this is where we see Mary Sue on full display, because she's just like super ninja warrior and saving her brother.
Yes. And then
At least Neo downloaded the program, so he knew Kung Fu, right? At least we got to
right.
see
well,
some
they're
sort
like,
of
whatever.
growth.
She's in a super strong robot body, so she can just, beat an alien or, kill people. It's fine. The show just hand waves it away.
Okay.
Right? They're like, whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't
Well, look,
matter.
I was saying, look, Neo obviously is in the Matrix, right? But still, they show some scenes of him learning from Morpheus. It's a
Mhm.
completely different environment. Anyway, so
Well,
episode 4.
There is a problem here too, which is that because they establish that and this is some retconning, this part of the prequel. So they have that the children, like, she's strong enough in her robot body that she can kill a xenomorph one-on-one. Like, she does take damage, but she's strong enough to be able to kill it. And yet, in the other Alien movies, at least the ones that I've seen, like the original ones, there was a robot character, like, on the ships, and it establishes that the
Oh, you're
cyborg
right.
characters in this show, it establishes that the cyborg characters seem to be as strong, if not stronger, than the children. Because there's a part where the girl fights a robot. She doesn't realize it's a robot, and he's like kicking her ass. And
Right.
yet, in the Alien movies, it seems like the cyborg characters get their asses handed to them by the robots. Like, they're never in the movies that I remember. They were like, there's like the one scene where the guy's super fast and he has like the knife and he's like not hitting his fingers.
That's
But they
a
seem like
robot,
like they
not a
get their-
cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cyborg.
A synthetic, yeah.
Well, even regardless, I'm just saying, like in this show, whenever we see any other robot character, or I'm sorry, whenever in the movies, whenever we've seen any other like cyborg or synth like go up against aliens, they don't seem to be like kicking their ass super easily
No.
the way that she was able to do in this TV show.
Ash is completely eviscerated by the alien, and his
Yes.
head's torn off. Yeah. They have to plug in his head just to get information out of him.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
but
exactly, exactly.
so like I said, there's no narrative thread through this where normally you would have, okay, Wendy gets she has some desire and she's going to do this experimental program so that she can fill her lifelong desire of being a marine biologist, right?
Right.
Or whatever silly thing it is that she wants. Look, obviously you want something cool that she desires to do. So, but
Hmm.
these episodes, they have a tangible goal in the beginning of the episode that's finished by the end of the episode, but they have no overarching goal that runs the entire length of the
No.
season.
Well, hold on. So let's go back. So we have her goals was okay. So it's survive. She lives. It's find her brother. She finds her brother, saves her brother, saves her brother. Then
Mhm.
she doesn't really have a goal for
It's
the next
kind of it's
couple
kind of to
episodes.
it's kind of to figure out the mystery of the alien. She hears
Right.
the alien sounds in her head, which they never really explain how she's able to communicate with the alien.
Which is insane.
Yeah, totally
Okay.
insane. Like,
The main character can hear the alien language and can communicate with the alien. None of the other robot kids could. Like if they all
right.
could, you'd say, okay, well, they could say that they're robot kids. They have some ability to hear things outside of human range or something, but only she can do it. No explanation. Like you thought maybe there's gonna be some kind of mystery where I don't know, the technology to make these to transfer the consciousness has something to do with like alien biology, and then maybe they had to like mix them together or something. They do something crazy. No, none of it's explained. She just can do it. Shut the fuck up. Eat your slop and enjoy.
Well, no, there's a perfect explanation, Sitch. She's a Mary Sue.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and also she has this insane ability where she can control technology
Yes,
somehow.
another thing
Yes,
that
she
no one
can
else
wave
can
her
do, but she
hand.
can magically do.
She can wave her hand in front of any computer screen and make it do whatever she wants it to do. And you'd be like, how does that work? And then the people that built her have no clue how this works. And you're sitting there like, okay, do they not understand like like just because you made a robot doesn't mean it can just like wave its hand in front of your laptop. Like if Tesla makes a robot, I don't think it'd wave its hand in front of my laptop and like make my laptop do whatever it wants it to do. Like
Think of
like
yeah,
and how could the people that built it not like if you built it to do that where it's like, oh well, we put Wi-Fi in its fingers and it can hack into something, like they would understand the process here.
think of all the conversations that we're having around AI and safety, right?
Yes.
It's crazy that they build these things. So it's a brand new technology. It's exactly the same situation as we are now with AI. But they talk nothing of safety. Like she does this magical thing where she can control anything on the network anywhere in the building and nobody thinks, maybe we should figure out a way to turn that off. That seems a little dangerous."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's supposed to be the boy genius.
Yes.
They don't even study it or anything.
No.
How
Well,
is she able to do this? Oh, it's
yeah, you
so
think he'd be
miraculous, so wonderful.
you think he'd be interested in that, right? Like we
Well,
need to
look,
figure out how she's doing this.
it literally gets them all killed in the end.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Well, we had made fun of the boy genius's motivation, which was the reason he was doing all this supposedly wasn't for immortality for his own sake. The
No.
reason he was putting brains in robot bodies, it was because he's like, oh, everyone is so stupid, and I just want to have a smart conversation with a smart character. So that's why I want to put brains in robot bodies where you can have super fast brains that can process information super quickly.
Yes.
Which at first I thought was stupid because I was like, well, why couldn't any robot do that? But now after I'm watching the show, I realized I was wrong, that guy is right. Because every character in the show is so fucking stupid
You're right.
that I'm sympathetic to his cause now. I'm like, oh, he's totally right. Everyone in this world is a retard, including him. It makes
Yes.
perfect sense.
It does
Everyone
make
here's
perfect
so
sense.
stupid. It constantly is doing the stupidest. This show, it's weird. It's almost like, in a horror movie, like a bad horror movie, where every character who gets killed off by the monster just does the dumbest things possible. Like, there's a monster in the house. Let's go in the spooky basement with the lights off just to look around. Oh, the monster killed me. Who could have foreseen this happening? Right? That's every character has a thought process on that level of behavior. It's insane.
They're going in to feed these dangerous insects, and he's literally putting his foot in the door to like
Yeah.
prop the door open.
It's like,
So
oh,
it doesn't close behind him. I'm thinking, what the fuck? What are these
who
people doing?
they're like, who should we get to feed the super dangerous alien monsters? I know. Let's send one of the children who's in a
Yes.
super expensive robot body, but is a child to go do this very potentially dangerous task. Oh, he has to feed the alien, but for no reason, the little food slot breaks. So since he's a fucking retard, even though he's supposed to be a super advanced computer brain child, he decides I'm gonna manually open the door that has the fucking alien inside of it, and I'm going to just slide the food tray fucking in. And for some reason too, it makes no sense. Okay, there's a door and the door's locked. He types on the computer some code that unlocks the door, right?
Hmm.
So you would think, well, that means the door is unlocked. But no, for some reason, that means the door's only unlocked. But then if it closes again, it automatically locks again, which makes no sense why it would even work that way. You'd think it would be like, no, it's unlocked until you fucking manually lock it again. If you manually unlocked it. And yeah, he's just going to hold the door open with his foot and be like, oh, I'm just going to slide the food tray. Oh, no, I'm locked inside with the alien. Oh, the alien melted my face. Who could have possibly foreseen this?
And all just for the plot so he can actually get locked in the room. It's
It's
completely ridiculous. None of the characters, none of the kids have any moral character to speak of, which makes the ending that much more ridiculous. Why are we supposed to be rooting for these people to actually succeed, right?
yeah, because at first, if you might feel sympathetic to the girl robot, the main character, because it's like, okay, she was dying, now she's been resurrected in a robot. These people obviously are like treat her like property. They don't really treat them like humans with human rights. And she just wants to find her brother and save her brother's life, and maybe she just wants to live some normal life. Like maybe you could be like, okay, I'm empathetic to this. But then when they decide to escape the facility, okay, she's like, oh, I know how to escape the facility. I need to cause a distraction. I know. I'm going to use my magic hacking powers to unleash the fucking alien xenomorph on the facility to slaughter
All
dozens
the
of
innocent
innocent
people. Yeah,
random fucking people so
exactly.
that we can escape. I'm just like what the like that was a massive character change. Before that, I'm like, okay, so she's gone from a sympathetic child to a psychopathic murderer in a split second.
Yeah,
And then when
cold-blooded killer.
yes, completely. And then because she's a Mary Sue or a Wendy Sue, as you said, it's pretty
Yes,
good.
exactly.
Yes. As she's a Wendy Sue here. Now, because she can hear the alien, she can also talk to the alien, and the alien will just do whatever she says for some
Yeah, just
reason.
because you can talk to it, why does it follow your commands?
Who
Yeah,
knows?
they never explore that either.
Well, that's why I thought there was going to be something where they explained that they had to put the alien DNA, like alien queen DNA, into her to like make her exist, kind of like they did with Ripley and I think it was Alien 4 or something. And maybe that's how she can control it, but no,
More
nothing's ever explained. I
ridiculousness.
know it would be stupid, but
More
whatever. It's
ridiculousness.
not
At
explained.
least you're trying, though.
I'm trying, yeah. Um, but no, it's not explained. She can just control the alien by communicating with it because that's how communication works, I guess. It just listens to whatever the fuck she says, and she's
Wouldn't it
having it
be
like they're
more interesting if the alien was controlling her? If the alien was forcing her to do shit?
or she had to like train it like an animal. Like if she could like somehow like it would kind of like she could communicate with it, but it wouldn't necessarily do what she wanted unless she like conditioned it to do what it wanted or
Yeah, no
something. Like
training at all. She just talks to it and it does whatever she
yeah,
wants.
and she's like escaping the facility with her brother and one of the other robot kids, and she's just like telling this fucking alien to just slaughter everyone in her fucking path, which is
Yes.
like holy shit. These are just like innocent workers. These are just people who have like minimum wage security jobs at this fucking place, and she's just killing them left and right. I guess we're supposed to not care. Like, well, they're bad guys. Like, no, they're not. They're just random people that work at this
We've
job, this
met
facility.
them. They were
Some of
working
them,
with the
yes,
brother in the beginning of the thing. So not
yes,
not only that, one of the characters, and we got to talk about episode 6 because episode 6 is like the wokest fucking thing on television. They talk about this character's trauma and therapy versus a memory wipe, and
yeah. Oh my
oh,
god,
she's
I
gonna
know.
lose her identity. What are you doing? So they're putting that episode together to try to make you empathize with the character because she goes on a full-on murder spree of all these innocent people, tears a guy's jaw off and like tosses it aside. It's
Mhm.
brutal. And the
Right.
brother stops her by not even killing her, but like disabling her with some taser type thing. And the sister goes apeshit on the brother, like, why'd
Yes.
you do that?
One,
Well, look,
yes.
she was killing everybody. She was killing all of these innocent people.
One,
So
one
how
of
am I supposed to like Wendy Sue when she's like, yeah, she was, and it was badass.
one
Why'd you stop her?
one of the redhead girls, like when they get surrounded by guards. Yeah, and it's got her brother's like guards friends are there. They're part
Yes.
of this crew.
All
And
of
the
the
redhead,
friends we've met in the beginning of the movie. So we
yes,
know these people
we know
somewhat.
these people.
Yes.
And the redheaded girl like rips, literally grabs someone by the neck and like rips like their
Their
tonsil, like
jaw
rips
off.
like their jaw off, like rips some shit out of their throat and just like knocks them aside like they're a fucking rag doll. And he's like, holy shit, like we've just escalated this even more. And yeah, he shoots her with a little electric gun just to stun her. And then the sister's like, how dare you betray us? And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just murder people. What are you talking about? And then later in the series, he's like, you're right. I made a mistake by doing that. And I was like, what are you talking about? What do
Oh
you
my
mean?
God. I know.
What is happening?
Who wrote this thing? Do they have any concept of the good guys and the bad guys? Or is it just, is this the fashion now where it's just morally gray? Everybody, there are no good guys. It's just bad guys versus bad guys.
It's yeah, but if it was written so that if I knew that the writers knew that this was a show where everyone's kind of evil, I'd be like, okay, like maybe I don't like that, but at least like, okay, they know what's going on. They wrote it like she's in the right morally
I
when she's
know.
not, like even remotely in the right morally.
It's terrifying. That's a big part of it too. Culturally, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, what the fuck? Do are people really looking at this and saying, "Oh my God, Wendy's so cool"? She has no morals whatsoever.
They definitely did the whole like you know, I hate to say woke, but like at the end of the show, they did like she's the strong woman who's controlling everything vibe. And I was like, oh my God.
They did,
Please.
yeah.
Jam Mac in the
So
chat says she says you chose them. Actually, brain dead. That is what she said. Yes. It was so stupid.
so episode 4, Wendy wants to so episode 4 she wants to figure out the mystery of the alien, and she does. So all these episodes are she's got some sort of tangible goal, and by the end of the episode it's a finished goal,
Well,
which I
she doesn't really. She just figures out that she can talk to it. That doesn't really figure out like
oh
what's
you
up
yeah,
with the alien. Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. I mean she just figures out that the alien is communicating with her and she can talk to it. They don't really explore how that's possible, which
Right.
might be interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they did some like this is what Star Trek was built on, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, right? This is a
Right.
weird thing going on here. We need to figure out the technology behind it.
Yes. Or
This
the
they're
life
like,
form
oh,
or
she just does
something.
magic. Who cares? So then episode 5 is a flashback to the very beginning. So none of these characters are in this episode, and everyone in this episode dies.
Except for
So
the
it's
cyborg. Yeah.
except for the cyborg, yes. So it's just filler basically. I
Well,
don't. Why do I care about these characters? I know they're all going to die, and none of
the
them are consequential to the main storyline.
yeah, the only thing that would be important, I guess, is maybe you think, okay, we're going to learn about like the cyborg's backstory and maybe why he's so motivated to help Wayland Yutani or
Mm-hmm.
Yutani, or however you said the company name, get back the alien.
That would be smart.
And you don't.
So you don't learn
don't.
any of that.
All you learn is that he had a kid and that he decided for some insane reason. I guess to pay off, I guess the implication is supposed to be that in order to pay off the cybernetic implants, because they're super expensive, he had to agree to go on this 75-year journey into space, 65-year journey into space or something,
Mhm.
which you would think would make
Talk
him
about
hate,
a deadbeat dad.
right? But you think would make him hate the company, not be utterly devoted to the company. So his motivation is completely nonsensical. And then when he's in space, his child dies at a young age. And so he has no family. And you're like, okay, well, why does he give a fuck about why does he care? Why is he worried? Why is he working so hard for Wayland Yutani?
Yeah, most of us, if we're working some dumb job and we're going to die because we encounter some strange alien, like we're just quitting, right?
We're
We're
like,
trying to get out of
well,
there as quick as possible.
yeah, this is not worth the paycheck. You just turn around and walk away. You're like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
There's okay. So in the flashback episode is the episode. So my 3 stages of hating the show was, first I was like, this is intriguing. Then my second stage was, okay, this is like boring and slop. Like I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think they're gonna
going
actually.
nowhere.
And then episode 5, the flashback episode, is where I said, okay, now I actively fucking hate this show because there were 2 things that I couldn't believe. The first was when they find out that there's someone who's sabotaging the ship. And you're like, okay, that seems really stupid. You're sabotaging the ship with the fucking alien on it, which could make the alien run all over the ship and fucking murder everyone, which why would you want that if you're on the ship? And then number 2, you're sabotaging the ship so that it will crash, which also could end up with you dying. So you're like, well, okay, well, does this person have a plan to escape the ship or something, right? And why would they even want to do this in the first place? And we find out that in the dumbest way possible, the cyborg, who's a security chief, he's like, I have to figure out who's the saboteur on the ship. And he's doing all this like detective work. And it turns out he didn't have to do any detective work. All he had to do was type into the computer, hey, computer, bring up the personal logs that people have been sending to Earth to communicate.
No,
Oh,
he just
which I can
looks at
do.
his email.
Right, which I could do because I'm a security officer. And he's just clicking through people's emails. And he's like, oh, here's a fucking video between a person on the ship and the Prodigy CEO. And apparently the Prodigy CEO is like, hey, I'll give you a butt ton of money if you crash the ship in my area so I can take the xenomorphs. And he's like, I'll do it. And I was like, why did he do it like immediately? As soon as he thought there was a saboteur, he didn't think to check people's emails. He spent like a fucking 2 days wandering around doing fucking Batman detective work for no fucking reason. He could have just typed in the computer, like, show me the email where the guy admits to doing the crime.
Yeah,
And
it's completely silly.
And that conversation is insane because the guy is all like, "Oh, I'm on a 65-year mission and I'm getting not enough money." Which you think like, okay, you would think if someone's going to agree to a 65-year space mission to find alien life in space, first of all, you'd think you'd like they have to pay you a fucking lot to ever get anyone to agree to do that in the first fucking place. And you also wouldn't think you would send the fucking B team to do this.
Oh, of course.
Right? Like everyone on the ship is a fucking idiot. Anyway,
Yeah, you'd send robots.
Yeah, you send robots or something. It's unclear. Yeah, why wouldn't they just send a crew of robots? I don't know why is there only one robot? But so the guy is like, okay, I'll do this for you, Prodigy CEO. I'll betray everyone. I'll possibly kill everyone on the ship for more money because I'm such a moral person. But then he's like, wait a minute. If I sabotage the ship and crash it into your area, what if I die when the ship crashes? And I'm thinking, well, that's a good fucking question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
And the CEO is like, well, if you die, it sucks for you. And that's it. And the guy's like, I guess you're right. I was like, what do you mean? You're gonna fucking potential. You're trying to do this for money, and you're like, well, maybe I could die. There's a very high likelihood of myself dying doing this action. But what the fuck? Why? Who would be motivated to do this?
Oh, I was so checked out by this point.
And then I fucking shit you not. The population of Earth has like their brains have turned to mush in this timeline because this is the scene where I said, fuck this show. So right now, 3 people on the crew have already been killed by aliens. Okay. And the captain, or who's now the captain, because the original captain fucking died. So now we have the first officer who's now been promoted to captain, brings everyone into the mess hall. And she's all like, okay, guys, this is what's going on. We have 3 people have died. There's an alien that killed those 3 people is somewhere loose on the fucking ship. And we don't know where it is. Also, there's a saboteur on the ship who we don't know who that is. And then also, we're losing fuel and we've also lost our navigation systems. So there's a likelihood we're going to fucking crash in the planet. Okay. So she says this to everyone. A normal person is like, holy shit, we are like super mega ultra fucked. We need to either like panic or we need to do something about this, right? But when she tells us to the entire crew, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, I'm hungry. I want to eat food now. Why are you bitching at me about like everyone dying? Stop whining. Why are you being so mean to me? And I'm just sitting here like, who are these people? Who would ever react this way? She just told everyone that they're going to die and they're just like checked out of the fucking conversation.
Don't bother me with that.
It was insane.
I have more important things to do.
I was the
what
most
time
insane.
is lunch?
There was a guy who's like, oh, I'm going to eat food. Stop whining at me. And she's like, bitch, this is serious. Stop fucking eating. And then the guy's like, stop being mean to the kid. What is happening? Who the fuck are these people? They all deserve to die because they're all fucking retards.
They all do die eventually.
They all
So
do. Yes,
they
I
all
was cheering
die.
it on.
Yeah, by
Oh
the end
my
of
god.
by the end of that episode, I was just completely demoralized. I mean, I was kind of demoralized that that the whole episode was a flashback. I was thinking,
Yes.
well, all these people die. Like, what
Yes.
do I give a fuck about any of this shit?
Well, not the only piece of information we ever learned that wasn't even really that important was just that the
The
Prodigy
boy wonder,
CEO
yeah, engineered
was
the
the
whole
one
thing.
that caused the crash, I guess.
Of course, that's super important because it comes back never.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So
how
they have
did
a whole episode devoted to this, and it's not even relevant.
no. And how did he even know like how did he get in contact with someone on the crew to do any of this anyway?
Yeah,
I would like that's never explained.
it's completely ridiculous.
And here's a little science nitpick, okay? They're complaining about they're like, "Oh my god, we're out of fuel, guys." You know, in a spaceship. And I was like, "Okay, do the writers not know how spaceships work? There's no gravity in space, and there's not really air resistance. So you
Mhm.
just go in a direction and then you reach the speed you're going and then you just stop using fuel and you just go in that direction."
Right. Yeah.
until you hit something. You don't need when you're in space and you're going, you don't need fuel to keep going unless you get caught in like another gravitational well, you have to like course correct or something. You just keep going. And they made it sound like it's a car, like, oh, you just gotta keep accelerating. I was like, what are they talking about?
We're slowing down.
Yeah, it's like, what? That's not how fuel space works.
We're hitting vacuum resistance.
Like that, God, Jesus Christ. Okay, so
Yes.
that episode 5 was like infuriating. And then episode 6, that's the
Yes.
episode with the redhead girl where she's having a complete fucking there's like a redhead girl who's a kid in a robot body. She's having complete insane nervous breakdown for almost no reason. Okay. The reason given to us is that when the robot kids were sent to the crash site, which is retarded, by the way, and
Yeah.
even more retarded, now that we know that the CEO of the company knew that there were dangerous aliens on the spaceship.
Yeah, because he engineered it.
Yes. It makes
He's
even
like,
less
oh my
sense
goodness.
that for him to even fucking do this. But there's like a little eyeball alien that's inside a cat, and it looks kind of gross, and it like pops out of the cat's eye, and it looks gross, and it jumps at her, and then they stop it. And apparently that was so traumatic to her that she's having a complete fucking nervous breakdown, and she thinks she's pregnant now. And I don't know the connection there. I don't know how you get from eyeball monster scared me to I think I'm pregnant now. Like, there's no thematic connection. There's no symbolic connection. Like, who put that idea in her head? What does that have anything to do with anything?
Yeah.
And
How the eyeball monster works, how would that be that traumatic? She doesn't really know that it's going to try to get inside her or anything and
right,
control her.
and well, also I don't think it even could because she's not biological.
Yeah, she's a robot. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And so she's like so traumatized by this that she thinks she's pregnant. And then she attacks the doctor lady who they kind of imprint on as their mother figure. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we need to wipe her memory of that event. Okay, this is like how fucking stupid every human is in this world. Like, we need to wipe her memory. So one of the scientists is like, no, that is immoral to wipe her memory. And I'm sitting here like,
why?
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 Why is that immoral? Like, you have a child robot who's fucking insane, and you're like, well, let's remove the memory. Maybe she won't be insane anymore. And he's like, no, I refuse. I was like, what?
The lady is like, oh, we need to give her weeks of therapy. And I'm thinking,
What?
she's a fucking robot. Like, you're going to sit down on the couch and talk to your robot for weeks
Yeah,
when you could just do the memory wipe?
yes,
But and they're acting like there's a big conflict over this.
I know, it's so insane. And then even with the memory wipe, she's still like, oh, we need to do therapy to get through the issue. And I was like, I thought we're in the beginning of the show, they introduced this idea that since they're not humans, they could control their emotions to some level. And I thought like, okay, well, that'd be interesting. Like, imagine if you had like you could whip out your iPhone or your smartphone and you could just like plug in how you feel into the phone, right? And that's how these robots, I would imagine, could work.
That'd be great.
Like,
I will take one.
Right. And she's like, no, she needs to do talk therapy like a human on a couch. I was like, what's
It's
happening in this
ridiculous.
show?
And
Oh my
then
God.
and then she's when they were talking about doing the memory wipe, she's like, "Oh my god, she could lose her identity," which is the obviously the big woke word that just made
Right.
me
Which
want to hurl.
there could be something this again, so there'd be an interesting idea of what makes a human human. And there could be three elements that the show could look into. It could be emotions, memory, and consciousness. And it'd be like,
Right.
okay, like, are you really human? Or, and also like desires. Like, are you really human if you don't have your normal desires? How much do your desires create your personality? How much do your emotions create your personality? How much do your memories create your personality? These are like interesting questions that the show, if it was written intelligently, could actually explore by like having different characters not have these things or have control over these things in a way humans don't control. And then you're like, okay, well, now what does this person look like now that they have control of these things? But they don't do that. Instead, they're just like, well, we're just going to remove like the last 40 hours of memory from this person. And why would removing the last 48 hours of the person change her identity anyway? It doesn't even make
Exactly.
sense.
They're talking about memory wiping her back to when she first woke up from the procedure. I'm like,
No, not
how the
even.
fuck is she going to lose her identity? Oh, you're right. Just before they're going to wipe it back to just before the trauma.
Right. Yes. Who cares?
Yes, exactly. Who cares? So, but then the conflict that they try to lug into this episode is Wendy Sue is going to show up and she's going to care. Oh my
Yes.
God, how could you do this thing where you wiped her memory? It's like you've wiped her memory for the last 48 hours. How dare you?
Well, and then this is where I said this is again, every human on the planet is radiation poisoned so that they're stupid. Because if you're a scientist and you're working at this facility, you're like, okay, we're gonna erase 48 hours of this robot kid's memory.
Yeah, you're going to
The
send an
first
email out to everyone. Hey,
yes.
by the way,
Yeah.
we've wiped her last 48 hours of memory. So, deal with it.
Yes, you would sit all the kids down and you say, listen, she's having like a violent traumatic episode, and we've decided that the only way to deal with this is to remove the trauma from her brain, right? But instead, they just wipe her memory and they tell
No
nobody.
one.
They
Yeah.
don't tell anyone. So then when Wendy shows up, she's like a 7-year-old child in a robot body, and she's like, "Oh, remember when this happened?" And she's like this immediately happens, by the way,
Yeah,
too. They
why?
wipe.
Why the fuck is she talking about the trauma as
I
soon as she
know.
walks in the room?
They wipe her memory, and then the next scene is Wendy like, "Hey, remember
Remember when that
when
thing
this
happened?
traumatic thing happened to you?"
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, "I
How
don't
do you
remember
not
with that."
remember?
Yes.
It's so wrong that you don't remember that. How are you supposed to get any sympathy if you don't remember your trauma? They've
Oh
taken
my.
that away from you. Oh my
And
God, we need to
that
kill them
and that's supposed to be her motivation for wanting to escape and like attack the humans is
and
because
kill all the
oh
innocent people because no
right.
one's innocent when you erase the last 48 hours of trauma from somebody.
I know. When you erase the dangerous, crazy robot's memory so it doesn't do dangerous, crazy things to people. Yes. Which
So,
they didn't even need that because, and this is what was weird too. The motivation should have been the so the brother, Wendy's brother, for because he's also a fucking idiot,
oh, yeah.
thinks that he's going to take Wendy and escape the facility, which is stupid because you're like, okay, there's no fucking like there's nowhere on the planet that you could escape like they wouldn't track you down. But then also, it's not even clear why he want at this point in the show. There's no real reason for him to even want to do this anyway.
Well, his
Like,
goal is super contrived. He wants to go live as a family with his sister, which I'm just like, what? What
well,
the
you could do
fuck?
that in the facility. They're
Yes.
letting you live there, and you
And you
just
have
be
a
her brother.
job. She has a
Yes,
job. I mean, what's the
yes.
big deal?
What's the problem? He's like, no,
Yeah.
we have to go live in a farm somewhere and raise cows or something.
I
Like, I don't
know
know what the fuck,
exactly.
what was happening. Why does he care? He's like, no, we have to leave. And it like, then this all could have been fixed too, because after he already decides to escape with Wendy, which is very fucking dangerous, and after he talks to one of the scientist guys, who also, for very stupid reasons, decides to give him the access codes to escape. That scientist, after they decide all this stuff, and after Wendy already decides that she's going to escape, after all of that, the scientist guy realizes that, oh, one of the kids, because he's a retard, wandered into the alien feeding pen and then got murdered by the alien. If they just switched that so that happened first and everyone saw that happen, then you'd be like, oh, well, that's why they want to leave, because this is a dangerous fucking
Oh,
place.
you're right. That would make so much more sense. They want to get
Yes.
out to save their lives.
Yes.
Give
Because
them
you
some
have,
real fucking motivation.
yes, you have the kids walk in. They see the other kid's face fucking melted off. They all thought they were immortal. The brother thought they were immortal. And then they see that the CEO, the Prodigy CEO, is like, whatever. I guess that's one product down. And then you go, oh shit,
Yeah.
this isn't so safe anymore. Suddenly people have a motivation that makes sense to get the fuck out of here.
And you might even empathize with them a little more.
Yes.
As it
Yes.
is, there's nothing to grab onto as far as why am I even following these characters.
No. And then
So,
the redheaded robot girl continues to be psychotic for the rest of the show. So you're like, I don't know why we care about her.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And she's one of the people in the end that wins and gets to rule. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So there's two kids also that the cyborg has implanted something in one of the robot's ear so that he can communicate with him at
The
any
robot
time.
kid. Yeah.
One of the robot kids, yeah. And he's gone to see the kid's mom and kind of threatened to hurt the mom if the kid doesn't go along with his plan to smuggle one of the aliens out of the facility. So he tells the kid that the kid has to find a human being to put this face hugger onto and smuggle it out, and he's going to meet him outside and get the alien. And I'm thinking, this kid, I'm supposed to be on his side as well. He's going to take some innocent person and put a face hugger on him just because some guy threatened his mom. Like, where's the fucking moral fiber in these people?
The
Why don't they
zero.
tell him fuck off? How
Well,
about you don't do that?
and also, I just realized right now as you were explaining it that none of that makes any sense, because at first he's like, I want you to get the egg and to bring it to me,
Mhm.
and he can't do it. Like he just can't get access to the lab to do it. And he's like, okay, well, why don't you instead get a person impregnated by the face hugger and then
Yeah,
bring
you
that
have to
person
have
to me?
access to the egg.
And it's like, but wait a minute, it's the same problem. You don't have access to it. And then it's the same thing. Like when he finally does access to the lab, why doesn't he just get the egg
the
and put
egg.
it in a little jar and then bring it? Like that would be 10 million
Those eggs
times
are
easier.
huge. I don't know that you could put.
Well, I'm sure just find something.
Isn't the
right?
face hugger in the egg?
It is. It is.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Those
If
are
you
pretty
could
big.
just either get some container large enough, but even if you could find some container large enough to get the egg, that would be easier to take and to hide and smuggle out of the facility than dragging a human body through the fucking hallways
with a face hugger on it.
attached
Yeah.
to it. Like, why is the cyborg telling him to do the stupidest fucking thing on the planet?
Yeah,
It makes
it's
no sense.
completely ridiculous.
Yes.
And
just-
his friend goes along with it, so you're like, okay, well that guy's got no moral backbone either.
well, at least the friend was so stupid that he was like, oh, they didn't know that once the alien facehugger grabs you, that you're fucked. Like, because he's like, oh yeah, once we bring him the alien, they'll take it off of him, and the guy will be fine. This very
Oh,
nice
yeah,
guy
yeah,
will be
yeah.
totally. And it was just a nice. It was the guy who was the scientist who wanted to quit over erasing the memory because it was so immoral to erase their memory for some fucking reason. And that's the
Right.
guy that this stupid robot kid is going to sacrifices to the alien.
Right.
Which also in that scene is insane too, because so there's a scientist guy, he's quitting over them erasing the memory. He realizes that the other cyborg kid, Toodles, has had his face melted off by the alien. So he's all like, "Oh my god, look, your friend got murdered," and the Indian cyborg kid doesn't care. He
Right.
doesn't give a fuck. They walk into the lab and he sees his friend, I thought was his friend, face melted off and dead, and he doesn't even give a single shit. He doesn't have any reaction to it. All he does is open up the face hugger thing so the face hugger can go latch onto the guy and kill
He's
him.
like, I gotta get this thing.
Yes.
I gotta do this horrible thing.
Yes. It's like okay. Who, and this is exactly what you said. Who are we supposed to be rooting for in this show? There's no one to root for in this show. Everyone is stupid and unlikable.
Kirsch is the only character that I liked that
Yeah.
seemed to have some sort of moral backbone as
Which is a
far as
robot.
yeah, because he comes in and says, "Oh, taking the kids doesn't seem like a great idea." Like at least he gives some sort of pushback to the Boy Wonder character.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the only character that you could kind of maybe like.
I agree with you. He was the only character I thought was interesting because he looks cool. He has like a cool look to him. We know he's a robot. We are kind of questioning, and he like the way he acts is interesting and intriguing, and we're kind of trying to figure out like what's his motivation, like what's his deal. But then even they try to ruin his character because he starts to do things that makes no sense. Because Kirsch, he somehow is able to, or no, he was like reviewing the footage when the cyborg interacted with the robot kid, and he realizes that the cyborg put something in the robot kid,
Right.
and use that information. He's able to hack into the frequency so that he can hear the cyborg talking to the robot kid and telling him to do all this stuff with the facehuggers, right?
Right. Yeah.
And yet he lets him do all this. He lets the cyborg kid kill an innocent person with the facehugger. He lets the cyborg kid drag the body out of the facility, and you're like, wait a minute, why is he doing any of
Yeah,
this?
what was his
Why?
motivation for wanting the cyborg to get the thing? Cuz he
Right,
also helps the kids get out cuz he opens the elevator for them.
right.
And you're
And
going,
then
"What the fuck? Why is he doing that?"
yes, and so I'm thinking like, oh, he must secretly be working for
With him,
Weyland-Yutani
yes.
too,
Yeah.
or something, right? Because that would be the only explanation. But then once the cyborg guy shows up at the meeting site with the robot kid, the cyborg Kirsch comes out, or I mean the android Kirsch comes out, and he's like, "Oh, I've surrounded you with guards. We're arresting everyone now." And you're like, "Well, so he wasn't working with him? So like what?" So is this whole thing was just some way to arrest that one guy? He like Kirsch let this guy die, and he risked the safety of the specimen, and he risked the safety of the robot kid just to arrest this one fucking guy, which by the way, he didn't tell anyone else that he was doing this. He doesn't have a conversation with the boy CEO like, "Oh, hey, this is going on." And the CEO is like, "Oh, let him do it. I want to test to see what happens," or something, right? Like nothing, there's no conversation
Yeah.
whatsoever that happens. He just does all this on his own. And I guess it's only just to trap the cyborg, which wouldn't make any sense because if
Totally.
that was the goal, all he would have to do is go to the cyborg, to the robot kid, and write in a message or something that the cyborg couldn't see and say like, "Hey, I know what the guy is doing. We'll just like bring a fake
Yeah, we'll
specimen or a
take
fake,
over.
yeah, we'll just bring a fake specimen to the drop site. He'll be there, and then we'll arrest him." That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
But no, no one thinks to do this because everyone in the show's stupid.
Definitely stupid. Especially the writers. So,
The writers are the most stupidest.
yeah, and then Cyborg and Kirsch end up fighting to the death. So much of it is just so that they can have that scene where they do fight because they do play up the conflict between Cyborg and Kirsch. I guess they
Mm-hmm.
could still do that if they went with the show them the note and had a fake
Yeah, the
specimen.
same
Yeah,
scenario
they
would
could,
happen where
and it'd be so
they
much.
arrest
Yeah,
him, then he gets escapes and they have to fight,
yeah,
which
exactly. It'd be so much better.
they
But
set up they set up this like motivation where like they don't like each other because one's a cyborg and one's an android, which I don't know, felt contrived to me.
totally
Like
contrived. Yeah,
like the whole there's like this whole thing about like people are biased against cyborgs, and it's like why? It doesn't make any sense. That'd be like if a person who has a like a prosthetic limb, you're like, oh, those prosthetic limbs, people, they're so disgusting.
it's
It's
be
like, who cares?
it's because Hollywood is desperate to recreate the civil rights movement in all media. So
I guess
they
you're right.
just they even set that up in the beginning where it's like in the first episode there's some sort of conflict between them, some sort of
It
racial conflict.
in the flashback episode. So in the first episode, in the flashback episode, there's a cyborg. I'm sorry, there's a android that's a full robot on the ship who is like a weird fat Asian guy who looks weird and acts weird. Okay. And he keeps staring at one of the women when she's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Did they
Yeah.
ever explain what the fuck was up with that guy and why he was doing that?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if I missed it. I was like, why is this android acting so because they treat him like shit. I'm like, why are they treat him like shit? And I'm like, oh, he acts really fucking weird. It was like, is there
Yeah.
gonna be in the flashback? I'm like, oh, they're gonna explain why he's acting weird. Nope, they didn't explain. He's just a fucking weird android. I was like, oh, all right.
At least he came back because they
That was
do set him up
interesting.
in the first episode as some sort of weirdo that everyone hates, and Then
And
he disappears for 3 episodes.
I bet you that the cyborg villain in this season they're gonna bring back. He didn't actually die because he gets in the fight with Kirsch, and then Kirsch like chokes him out, and he stops moving. So you're like, oh, he's dead, but I bet you he's not dead. He was just unconscious.
Please tell me there's not going to be
They
a
will.
second season.
They're gonna try if this makes enough money.
I'm not sure how that's going to be possible, but so
Then-
that's
Mhm.
episode 6.
Yes.
We get to the end of episode 6 and they're leaving the island.
Or the compound. They're trying to leave that one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Does episode 6 end in the girl going crazy? No, episode 7 ends with the girl going crazy.
We kind of did 6 and 7 was like one thing, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, episode 7 is get the face hugger to the cyborg. Wendy wants to get off the island. Girl who lost her identity goes crazy and kills a bunch of people.
Mhm.
So it ends with them on the boat getting thrown into jail, right?
Yes. Well, and also, so when the robot cyborg kid is like dragging the guy with the face hugger to the drop site to meet
Right.
the cyborg. Okay.
Right.
The guy wakes up again because that's always what happens to the face hugger. You're like, wake up and you seem like you're fine. And then the thing bursts out of your chest. The little thing bursts out of his chest and it like goes into the forest. And you're like, oh shit. Like now there's like a fucking alien running around on this island. Like 5 seconds later, somehow they just find it in the forest. They find this teeny tiny little alien.
You
with
didn't find
no
that
trouble.
believable?
They're just like, oh, there's the little tiny alien. Get him. They shoot with a little net. Easy peasy. Barely an inconvenience. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That was good. Wow. Okay. Like,
Unless-
if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just have it so that the kid caught it and then he's going to deliver it to the cyborg and then they all get surrounded by the guards, right?
Sure.
That would have been more believable.
Then it runs off. Could hide anywhere.
Good. Yeah, it's a giant island and this thing is like the size of a small snake. But they find it instantly.
Yes.
And then the other plot line, the only other plot line we haven't really talked about is the eyeball monster.
Right. Is
There's
the
a
eyeball
little-
monster in episode 7? Let's just get through
Yes.
to the end to episode
It is
8.
in episode 7.
Okay. What happens with
think
the
it-
eyeball monster in episode 7?
So there's this little
it
eyeball
escapes
monster.
from the sheep, right?
Not in episode 7.
Okay.
But so there's a little eyeball monster that it's like a little eyeball with tentacles. And what it does is it jumps at people and it like rips their own eyeball out and it burrows into it. And then it can control their body. They can do
Right.
this with animals or humans. Oh, and it's weird. On this show, there's all sorts of like other aliens that are not the xenomorphs that do horrible fucking things to people. And you're like, is this related to the xenomorphs? Or they just happen? Like this crew just stumbled upon the gold mine of horrible fucking aliens that do horrible things to people, I guess. So
Well, they're
They're
trying to
all
get past the fact that we know so much about the xenomorph that is not really scary anymore. So they're like, let's pull in a
Right.
bunch of monsters that are new monsters that we can reinvigorate
guess.
this franchise.
it just seems weird that all these things are on one planet. One planet, we have the planet of
Well,
horrible fucking
We
alien
don't
monsters.
know if the spaceship was collecting them from a bunch of different
I
planets.
guess you're right.
Yeah.
I guess
so
you're right. Maybe
I mean,
they kept stopping at
they
different
could have
planets.
gathered them together. Yeah. That's why it took
Right.
65 years. They went to a bunch
Yes.
of different planets, right?
They went to a bunch
They're
of different planets and they're
Getting
like,
concentrated evil.
what's the most horrifying creature we can find here? And we're gonna bring also what's annoying
All
too,
of them back in the same ship.
like, yeah, we don't know. It's never really explained why, it's never explained in this show why Weyland Yutani wants this fucking alien
Which
so
is
badly.
what the fuck?
Yes.
It seems like you got your plate full with putting humans into robot bodies. Why do you want these aliens as well?
Well, that's the Prodigy people. The Weyland Yutani is the other corporation.
yeah, but the Prodigy people intercepted the ship and they want the aliens too. What the
Yes.
fuck? Everyone wants these aliens.
Now, in the other Alien movies, usually the flimsy logic is, well, Weyland Yutani wants the aliens
For
they
some
wanna
sort
turn
of
them-
bioweapon. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like retarded. Like, why would you want this? Like, it's the most fucking dangerous thing on the planet that cannot be controlled. You're like, oh,
You
I
just-
need this fucking as a weapon.
You just make a Mary Sue robot that can control it
Okay.
and you've got the perfect weapon. Like she uses it as a weapon.
But see, this is where
Ridiculous.
again there was something in the show that could have been very interesting, which is, and I've only seen like I think like the first 3 or 4 like original movies. So I haven't seen any other stuff. So I don't know if they like go into this, but there's a lot of lore here about, or potential lore about how the governments of the planet are structured. Because instead of governments, there's like 5 different corporations and they kind of run different parts of the planet and they all interact with each other in these like very weird ways. And there's like, that's kind of interesting if they would explain like how any of this works and maybe why Weyland Yutani feels like they need this like horrific weapon. Like maybe things are actually very unstable and very dangerous for the corporations or something. Like if you just understood what was going on, maybe then we'd be like, oh, okay, this is why they're willing to risk so much to get these stupid fucking aliens.
Then you'd answer something in the original franchise, right?
Yes.
No, we never really find out why they want them
They're just evil and they
as
just
a
want weapons.
bioweapon. Yeah.
Yes.
But what kind
Yes.
of bioweapon are they looking to make out of it?
Right.
I mean, they
So
have acid for blood, but we have plenty of acids. What the fuck? We don't need their
yes.
acid blood.
Yeah. There you go. So there's a little eyeball alien, and it's weird because it's like at first it's kind of it. We know that the eyeball alien doesn't like the xenomorphs. We don't really know why yet, because there's one person who on the flashback episode is going to get possessed or attacked by one of the other aliens, and the eyeball alien tries to warn her, but she doesn't like understand. So obviously it doesn't help. But then the eyeball alien in the flashback, it possesses a human and it ignores one of the other humans and attacks the alien instead. So the eyeball doesn't like the xenomorphs for some
Hmm.
reason, which I was like, you're like, okay, that's kind of interesting, I guess. What we don't really know what's up with the eyeball. And then
It's not obvious. The xenomorphs don't have any eyes.
you're right. There you
So
go.
it
It's just
can't take it over. It's
you're
like,
right.
fuck this thing.
You're right. You know what? Because the eyeball monster does jump onto the xenomorph, and the xenomorph like freaks out, but it doesn't, it can't burrow into it because it has no eyeballs. You're right. It's like fuck this species with no eyes. It's anti-eye bigotry. It's like, it's like I'll get to the humans later. I got to get rid of these no-eyed freaks first. Okay,
Exactly.
you're right. You're right. Well, also, I mean, it has acid blood. I'd assume it can't like burrow into a creature that has acid
Oh,
blood.
imagine that.
Yes, but
That'd be
so then
dangerous.
they put the eyeball creature into a sheep. It's possessed a sheep for like the whole show essentially, which I kind of like the visual of that because it's like kind of creepy and weird, and they have the sheep walk around on for a little bit on its like hind legs, so it looks bizarre. And they keep thinking like that the sheep is intelligent, even though the sheep is what causes the robot kid to get trapped into the alien containment area and get his face melted off. And
Right.
it's unclear
Yes.
whether it was intentional or not. So
Oh, it was totally intentional.
well, it's weird because at first it seemed like in the other episodes he was trying to save them from the aliens. So now you're like, okay, well, why is the behavior changed? We don't know.
Hmm.
So so the CEO, the Prodigy CEO, figures out that they think that this alien is smart that's in the sheep. So he decides to show it the digits of pi 3.14, and he's like, okay, if you can understand me, like tell me what the next 3 digits are. And it does by like tapping its hooves. It can like tap out the numbers. So he's like, oh my God, it's like some sort of super intelligent or like normally intelligent species that knows, the digits of pi. So he's like, we need to get it to possess a human or something. And then that storyline isn't really resolved at all in this season because they try to bring in a human, they try to bring in her brother. The brother escapes and is not possessed by the eyeball. The eyeball escapes the facility. It finds a dead corpse of the scientist who the chest burster bursted out of, and it possesses him, and that's where the show ends. So we still don't really know. The only kind of somewhat intriguing thing about like what was up with the eyeball alien is still, oh, more mystery box for next season.
Right. Yeah. The guy's going to come back all cleaned up,
Yes.
I bet you, with one bulbous eyeball. Man, if they do a second season, I mean, this is just, this show is such trash.
It is very trash.
So we're up to so that episode ends, or episode 7 ends with them in the prison,
Hmm.
them being apprehended. Well, maybe episode 8 begins with them in the prison.
Yes.
Episode 8 is all of the kids have been incarcerated. Aliens are running all over the island. They're kind of just trying to get things back in order. They're trying to get things contained again.
And
So
and Wendy
Wendy's
Sue is using
Wendy's
her hacking powers to release more aliens throughout the facility.
right. So Wendy's decided she wants to be the ghost in the machine, and she's decided that all of the people should fear them. They should turn on all of the people who've saved them from their terminal illness
Of course.
because they stole her friend's identity by memory wiping her for the last 48 hours. So,
Hmm.
which was a crime against humanity.
Yes.
So that episode is just basically mayhem.
It's like a fake, oh, it's the last episode of the series or the season. It's got to be the big climax. A bunch of people, all these like random people die, getting killed by the aliens left and right for no real reason, I guess, except to allow her to establish control, which is also stupid because Wayland Yutani is like sending the military to the compound at this very moment to physically use violent military force to just recapture their aliens. And that's going to be the start of the next season. And I don't know how the fuck how are they supposed to stop an entire military? No one seems to think about that. Even the Prodigy CEO, like they know that Wayland Yutani is coming, and they say, "Oh, Wayland Yutani is going to come with the military" at the beginning of the episode, and then for the rest of the episode, no one is concerned about the giant military coming at them.
The Boy Wonder is trying to get someone to put it so he can put the eyeball in him. Like he wants
Yeah.
to get his security guy. He leaves his security guy alone in the room to get the eyeball put in him,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't work. The eyeball ends up escaping.
Yes.
So it begins with all the kids in jail and then ends with the kids rounding up everybody. Oh, I guess we could talk about the Body Man because the Body Man was also an interesting character. The the Boy Wonder tells this story about how he created a robot. Like his dad beat him, obviously. That's the typical Hollywood backstory, right? For the villain. His dad was a drunkard who beat him all the time.
Right. Right.
So he built a robot that replaced his dad. And the robot, did the robot kill his dad? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay. So the robot killed his dad and became his dad. And we find out, look, I guess it never really says this explicitly. I might be just
It is
implying this.
it is implied. Yeah.
Okay. So the Body Man who we've met through the entire thing, who seems like one of the only reasonable people around this guy, it turns out he's a robot. Like we thought he's human throughout the entire series, but it turns out he's a robot. And
Mhm.
I'm instantly thinking, oh, that's the dad. That's probably his
Right.
dad. How interesting. We know his backstory somewhat, but as soon as we find out he's a robot, the Wendy Sue comes in and freezes him.
With
Evidently,
her
he's on the
hacking
network.
powers.
Yeah,
Yes.
with her super hacking powers, freezes him, and then he's completely inconsequentially ends up in jail with everyone else. So
Yes.
he's not this badass that saved the Boy Wonder from his abusive father. He's just kind of like a weak sauce that got taken out by a little Mary Sue girl.
Yeah.
Completely
Well,
undermines the character.
and it so that was another scene where I thought, okay, maybe they're going to do something interesting, and obviously they didn't, because the setup that scene where Boy Wonder tells that story is he walks into the jail cell to talk to the robot kids, and he realizes like the robot, like when he just like opens the cell with her magic hacking powers, and then I think the redhead just like murders like his random human guard who's there. So he's like realizes that he can't stop them or control them. And that's when he tells the story about his father. And I thought he was telling the story because he was going to say at the end of it, like, I'm not going to be like my father. I'm not going to abuse my children. Like, you are my children. I'm not going to, because what he said was very interesting in the beginning. He said, I was born a genius, but my father was an angry drunk, and he could have I had to kill him because otherwise he was going to kill me and rob the world of my genius, is what he says. So I thought he was going to end the story by saying, I am not going to be like my father. I've birthed you and your geniuses. My goal is not to rob the world of you, but to help you.
That would be a big character transformation from
Right.
what
And I
we've
thought that
seen
was
so
like,
far. He's like a
right. And I thought
massive asshole through this whole thing.
I was going to be like, oh, is this going to be like a complete twist or something? Like we misunderstood the character, but no, he just tells that story. And at the end of it, he's like, and that's why I must rule the world because I'm an egotistical narcissist. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, okay. So what was interesting about the story was just, I guess, an incidental, an accident. And then at the end of the episode, Wendy's like, that story you told us about your dad? Well, you're just like your dad. You're also just a hateful person. So there. And I was like, oh God. That was the payoff for that stupid fucking story. Was that one line?
You're just like your dad, a straight white male and
Yeah.
full of hate. The
Yes.
So they end up obviously getting out of jail, and all of the establishment characters are in jail, which is the typical woke Hollywood ending, right?
Mhm.
The establishment has been completely supplanted by the radical renegade kids, the murderous kids who have no moral fiber whatsoever.
The leftist revolutionary children rebelling against their traditions and their parent figures, authority figures, to rule, to be free. Is this?
Exactly.
I think that this show is all a metaphor for America. Okay, just think about it. We have a white female protagonist who is the power figure, and she is going to use. Okay, get this: the white female is using a black alien to subvert the white power structure that exists currently. Okay, a white girl is importing dark-skinned aliens into into America to take over. Is this really? Did some graper write this show as like a
Yeah, I was gonna
metaphor
say.
for God here?
How subversive.
Yes. Watch
I
in
mean, it's a
season
little
2.
too on the nose for what's actually happening, right?
If we find out in season 2 that the main character is Jewish, I'm gonna be like, okay, obviously, if a griper wrote this fucking TV show.
Are you saying that white progressives are using black crime to gain political advantage? Sounds
They're
like
no,
you are.
it's the great replacement. They're replacing humans with aliens.
In the end of the show, when she says, "What do we do now? We rule." What
Yeah,
the fuck? What the
she's
fuck?
she's literally importing aliens that will then use the natives as parasitical hosts to spawn their own kind. I'm telling you, this is all metaphor by some griper.
This is horrible.
And yeah, at the end, she's like, "We're gonna rule," and when she says that, there's been no explanation or motivation for her wanting to rule anything at any point whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. It comes out of nowhere. If her goal was not to take over, to be some kind of ruler,
Mhm.
to make the world right again, and they don't even hit those themes throughout the show. It's interesting because if you go to the opening image and the closing image, you've got the opening image is basically this corporation is saving these kids' lives. These kids have a terminal illness that they will die from,
Mhm.
and they're putting them into robot bodies, which makes them strong and potentially immortal, right? That's like
Mhm.
the opening image. And the last image is these kids are super pissed off that they got their lives saved,
Right.
and they turn on all of the people who actually saved their lives
Mhm.
and incarcerate them.
Yeah.
What is the
Fuck 'em.
message here? What is the message here?
The message is fuck you.
Why doesn't he tell him, "Oh, good luck to you when your XLP servo goes out in 2
Right.
years. Good luck getting a new one, bitch."
Well, that's part of, and that I'm glad you brought this up because when the brother was like, "We need to escape this facility and leave," I was like, okay, this bitch has to like plug her head in every night or something.
Yeah, where's
Like,
your
what,
charger?
yes, what leave where? What if there's a problem? You can't fix her. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. And none of that has been flushed out. And I'm sure the reason it hasn't actually been flushed out is because there's no good answers for that. They haven't really
Well,
explored any of that stuff.
it's because whoever wrote, first of all, this was obviously written to not be an alien TV show. This was written to be some sort of robot TV show, probably inspired by Westworld or something. And that some executive was like, hey, we have this alien franchise. We want to make an alien TV show. Let's take this
You
script
got
and
anything we
shove,
can repurpose?
yeah, let's shove aliens into this robot story script. And that's exactly what they did. But then on top of that, unless they dramatically change, whoever wrote this, like they don't.
Or it was written in a crack-filled weekend in Las
That's
Vegas,
possible. Right. That's always
right?
possible. That's always possible because it seems it's very clear. Instead of someone having like an interesting idea about like robots and putting your brain in robot bodies and what that would mean and kind of exploring that ideas, it's more like someone just has a bunch of very lame set piece story beats that they want to get to, and they're just forcing the story along that pathway
Yes,
of like, and then in
exactly.
this scene, the alien, goes on a rampage, and then in this scene, the
We
character
we
looks
know
like a
that
strong, independent woman.
We know that Kirsch and the cyborg are going to fight. We know that the alien
Yes,
eyeball is
right,
ultimately going to end up in the scientist.
right.
We
So
just
they're
got to
just
get the scientist to this point where the alien eyeball can take him over.
exactly. So they're just kind of lazily forcing the events by, and the way they're doing that is by writing every character as a retard, just to shoehorn them along the track that they want for these set
Yeah,
pieces.
which is super sad.
If you're scrubbing it, go to the 42-minute mark where you have the main character like standing there
Is
looking at
this
the
it?
guys in jail.
Okay.
I this really I don't know if it's me. This really struck me as like they're trying to do the woman CEO thing. like like the woman Steve Jobs thing, like I'm giving my TED talk to the bad guy.
No, it's true. It's
She's
true.
she's standing there. She's got the arms behind the back. They gave her the Edna Mode haircut for some fucking reason.
I'm I'm here to lecture you on the
Yes.
patriarchy.
No capes, no aliens. And it's so
What you
cringe.
it's it's so finger wagging too when I'm thinking she's basically saying what you've done is evil and I
Yes.
can't help but think that motherfucker saved your life, dude. You were dying of cancer. You had
Right.
brain cancer, bitch.
Right.
What are you doing?
I know. It's it
how thank how thankless.
100%. 100%. And how come every time, and I don't get this. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe this is some like female aesthetic thing I don't get. It seems like every time there's a TV show or a movie where there's supposed to be like the stereotypical strong, independent woman character, there's always that scene where the woman is like standing there and she's like berating a man. And it's always framed very like the same way, like this is her taking her power back. And it just seems fucking cringe and lame and whatever. Like
Yeah,
it's I didn't like for the first half of the show, I didn't think of anything. I didn't think about gender dynamics. I didn't think of anything about the main character being a girl. I had nothing to do with my thought, didn't go anywhere near this. Only towards the end of this, I'm like, oh my God, they're like shoehorning in gender politics now.
they are. Yeah, I'm trying to find this scene of Kirsch lying up there with his back broken. It's so demoralizing because I keep thinking Kirsch is the dude in the very beginning of it who saved the scorpion because you asked him to.
It
And
was
here
that
you are just, oh yeah, fuck you, Kirsch.
4117.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was the thing with Kirsch too, because you're with Kirsch when
He
he was
was
like,
nice to her in the very beginning.
yes,
Look how he gets treated. Hey,
yes,
now they can't even put him on the floor. They got to hoist him up.
yes, just like a rag doll on the top shelf here. Well, that's what they're
Yeah,
going
what
for.
the
They're going
fuck?
for look, this is the very subtle symbolism, okay? He is the because someone made some comment about like oh no, she made the comment when she fought the other side or the other android. She's like, "Oh, your time is over" or something. So he's literally representing the like the doll, like in Toy Story, the doll that is put on the top shelf that you don't care about anymore. That is why he's framed that
That's
way.
so
Okay.
bad. That is
Yes.
so bad.
And it's weird too because with Kirsch, like when he was helping the other robot kids, I was wondering like, oh, is he like more sympathetic to the robot kids than humans because he feels more like the robot kids are more like him in terms of like his life force? Like he's an android. There's sort of like this line between humans and androids. Maybe he has like maybe he feels, maybe he actually has some independent feeling of allegiance to this new life form more than the humans, but none of that is explored
Well,
whatsoever.
they
Or
they could do a data thing where he's envious of them because they actually were humans. Like he
right,
doesn't have
right.
any idea what it was like to be human.
Yes, that would have been very interesting if throughout
Totally.
the series or the season you're like, oh, he keeps kind of questioning to them what it's like, and you're like, oh, maybe he like wants to be like them or something.
Yeah, yeah, no. But nothing interesting was accomplished in this
No,
at all. And then to shoehorn in the gender politics in the ending, which were probably in the original script, right? Let's face it.
hmm
This definitely seems like some repurposed thing. So it was probably dripping with gender politics. And they were like, maybe we can dial it back a bit. I think the woke stuff is not fashionable now.
yes,
So Kirsch was the character that was nice to her in the very beginning when she was going through the procedure. He shows her the scorpion. He's like,
he was nice to all the kids throughout the whole show,
he
helping them throughout
was,
the whole
yeah.
show. Yeah,
He was kind of mentoring him, taking him under his wing. And this is how they repay him.
yep.
This is the gratitude. Even in the so there's a scene where he fights Cyborg and he gets his ass kicked, and the two kids come in, two of the nice kids. Well, nice is relative, I guess. They
Well,
did
they killed
put
someone,
a
so
face hugger on some guy, but you
yeah.
did mention that they thought he was going to be fine. But just because the other girl said, "Oh yeah, let's round everyone up," they totally turn on Kirsch. I was thinking, okay, well at least they're going to be nice to Kirsch, right? No, they're like, "Fuck you." Slam the handcuffs on him, and they're like,
Right.
"You're a fucking dick."
Right. Well, I thought it was going to be some sort of like Kirsch has to choose between is he serve the humans or is he serve the robot kids?
Choices. That's for
Yeah.
good stories, Sitch. What are you
Right.
talking about?
Like, no, they're just like, no, you're going to jail because you're an adult.
Oh God, it's
I
so
mean,
bad.
this is like the whole show, they keep soup, like, it's so dumb that the symbolism is so ham fisted. The whole show, they keep bringing up the Peter Pan allegory.
Oh
Like, oh, it's
yeah.
Peter Pan. They're Neverland kids. Their kids will never grow up. They're in robot bodies. And so at the end of it, they're like, yeah, we're the Lost Boys. And, we're going to put all the adults in jail.
Yeah. It's so strange.
I'm actually shocked that I cannot, I bet you this existed. I cannot believe they took this out. I thought the end that Wendy was going to tell the boy genius CEO, like, because she says, you thought you were Peter Pan, but you're really Captain Hook. Like, I can't believe she didn't say that line.
Oh my God. Yeah, they talk about the story in it. It is so ridiculous.
Yes. She says, you thought you were Peter Pan. And then it's like, but you're just like a hateful, like, you were never a kid. You were just a hateful boy or something, or hateful adult. I bet you the original line was you were just Captain Hook, and then they're like, that's too stupid. We have to take that out.
All of the Peter Pan references were completely lame.
Yes.
Were completely
Lame.
lame and off kilter for a sci-fi.
There was a what I'm trying to think. There was some other old literary reference. And I was like, who wrote this? Like it feels like someone who was like 60 years old wrote this. They're referencing all these things that I feel like people don't care about anymore, like Peter Pan, and there's some other old reference. I was like, Jesus, what is
Oh yeah,
happening here?
she goes over to the frozen guy and
Mhm.
knocks him over too. He's already frozen. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
could just be standing there, but she goes over to him and she's like, "Let me just push this guy over onto his back just to be a bitch."
Yes. Then
Can you
she
imagine?
I know.
Can you imagine if Batman was like that? Oh, let me just get a couple punches in before I turn him over to the police. Bam, bam, bam. Right?
Yes. Then she berates her brother because her brother shot the redheaded robot with a lightning gun to stun her to stop her from murdering people. And her brother's like, "You're right, Wendy. I'm so sorry for stopping your robot from killing all these humans. I messed up." And she's like, good. Now you can be my like brother again or my slave again.
If that character's motivation was she was super chapped because they gave her the ugliest robot body that they could find, I would find that believable. I would
There you
think,
go.
okay, well, that makes sense. She's like, why the fuck did you put me in this body?
Yes.
I look ridiculous.
Well, they gave them. She looks like you see that person in real life, and you're like, this person has problems. I don't know what's going
Oh
on
my
here.
God.
You're like, this person's crazy. I don't know what's happening here.
She's tiny compared to all these guys, too. They're
Mhm.
like, the Mary Sue, the people have heard the criticism about the Mary Sue, and they're like, okay, we just got to make these tiny girls robots. And then people can't argue with us about how they're tiny compared to all the guys.
Mhm.
It's totally a gender politics thing.
They also, for some reason, I don't know why, in this episode, you can see at 43, 48, they made the head scientist lady, who's like their mom figure. They made her look like a new age gypsy.
Oh, I know. She's
I
totally a hippie lady.
Yeah, I was like, this is a scientist, and she's some kind of like scientist who helped program these robots. They're like, no, she's a new age hippie. She just loves everyone. She just loves the children. I was like, okay,
Well, that
that's
they
fine.
were trying to sell that therapy line where she comes out and is like, "Oh yeah, she's got to have 25 weeks of
Hmm.
therapy." Wait, she's my
There,
science fair project. I didn't think she would need therapy.
hmm
I was
there
trying to
is
get to the image of that her pulling that guy's jaw off, but I can't.
that was in a different episode.
Oh, I went to that episode
Oh, okay.
7.
Yeah, it was in episode
It's just
seven.
it's so ridiculous, over the top.
Yeah,
I
why did
just
she just crush his
why?
throat or and throw him in the water? She's like, no, she like rips his fucking jaw off. I was like, holy shit.
She's got to kill him in the most cruel way possible.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably alive for days later without that job. That's probably painful.
It's at
Can you
like the
imagine?
39 part is where she like rips his face off.
Won't
It's
let
like
me
Jesus Christ.
won't let me go there. It
Yeah.
keeps sep. Anyway, it's being difficult.
But so there was something that was good about this show, which is that it made me rethink something, which is that
Mhm.
I thought conceptually that I thought conceptually that I liked the idea of when shows would like have an ending that would smash cut to the credits with music that would be like ironic to fitting the theme, like the tone of what was going on. So if
You
like something
changed your mind.
so something horrible is happening and then it smash cuts to the credits with like happy music, I was always like, oh, I like that. I fucking hate that now because this show does it in every episode and it's so jarring and disgusting and it feels like the most smug, condescending, egotistical thing. Like I could just see like the creators of the show like, "Oh, yes, we're so fucking cool. Like someone just got murdered by an alien and then we like jump cut, smash cut to like the credits with like rock music, even though it makes no sense emotionally what's going on in the scene." And I'm like, okay, I'm glad I saw this. This has turned me off from the entire concept of that. I just fucking despise it.
It does have a crazy amount of smugness to it, doesn't it?
Yes.
The music is just signing it as if it's a masterpiece. You've just witnessed a Rembrandt. And you're like, nah, no.
Yes.
I
Which,
think this is more like thrift store kitsch, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
like maybe if it was some genius thing, it would work. But I just this show is it's so bad.
Well,
It's
it
so bad.
works in Fight Club because it is like in the end of Fight Club, you're ready to like jump out of your chair
Yeah, but
and scream. So where is
the
my
music,
mind by the Pixies?
yeah, but that doesn't clash with the tone of the end of the movie. It
Oh
works
yeah, totally.
in concert with the tone. It's kind of like another show that did this too, which made me rethink this was, I don't know if you remember in the episode of Game of Thrones, where they cut off Jamie's hand, it like smash cut when he realized his hand's been cut off, it smash cuts to like a rock band singing The Bear and the Lady Fair, like really upbeat, and it's very jarring and not pleasant. Like it does not leave a good, pleasant emotion in your mouth. I was like, oh,
That's one of the things that is crazy about this show because it had to be super expensive. It looks great. It looks like
yes.
a movie quality production.
That's a good. We
The
haven't talked about that. This movie, I mean, this TV show looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic.
for the most part.
Everything, all of the special effects, all of the gore looks very realistic. The
Yes.
music rights had to be in the millions of dollars. I mean,
Yeah.
all of the songs are popular songs that you've heard
Yes.
that are just it just scream expensive. So
Mhm.
that's part of the smugness is like, yeah, I paid $1 million for this
Right.
8 seconds of this song.
Well, it is very reminiscent of Westworld. You have a show that, looks beautiful. They definitely like dumped a lot of budget into how it looks. I mean, Westworld dumped a bunch of budget into the actors, which I guess I don't know if this show did because I don't know who these people are. But the acting for the most part was like fine, I guess. And then it's just they ruin it because the story is just like the plot and the story is just so trash. It's
Yeah,
it's it's sad. It's like all this money, all this time is spent on these like beautiful set designs and costume designs and like cinematography and CGI and all this stuff, and it all was like really top tier. And then you have some fucking retard who doesn't know how to write is like can't put a fucking pen to paper. Like, and then the dumbest thing ever happens.
yeah, it's very sad. Makes me think that the producer did a lot of writing on it. The guy who actually put the money up. He's like, I'm gonna
Oh,
make it my way.
it's my show. Okay.
The one choice that I didn't like as far as production design goes is the alien, the main xenomorph. They just
Mhm.
didn't make him black. They made him kind of like green, marbly, weird looking,
Yeah.
which
It was
I
weird.
wasn't into.
They made it look like his head was rusting. Like it was like a rust color. It was weird, which I agree. I don't know why they did that. It looked lamer than the normal alien, so
Well, if you want to, nah, you don't watch this show. It's too boring. It's too boring to get through.
do
There's
not watch
absolutely
this show. This
no
show's trash. Yeah.
there's absolutely no hooks at all. It was a slog to get through. Like I said, I checked out around episode 3. I had high hopes too because I really like Alien. I'd hoped they'd do something good.
Mhm.
And the first episode, I mean, it looked good, but I mean, I had a lot of problems with the first episode too. Other people were reviewing it and going, "Well, let's give it a chance." So I was like, "Okay, let's give it a chance." But
Yeah, I saw the first episode and I thought, oh, this could be I saw the whole first episode and I thought there's a lot of interesting setup here. I could definitely see this going good. And it just did not go
right,
good. It just became dumb
you got to
very
look
quickly after
look
that.
the other way on
Yes.
the whole spaceship crashing and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But
Everything about everything. Yes. Everyone's motivation, like everyone doing the stupidest fucking thing imaginable. Everyone just being stupid.
right,
You can have this is okay. I think here's the rule. If if you want your story to be interesting, your characters have to be likable or interesting. So you can have like a villain who's interesting even if they're a villain. And in this show, by the end of it, everyone's stupid and unlikable and uninterested. You have the worst trifecta of characters possible.
yeah. My favorite example for that is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, the protagonist, is not a likable person at all, but
Hmm.
he's interesting. He's very
Right.
interesting, and they give him a quality that's admirable. He's a super good negotiator. And it's fun to watch him turn everything into a negotiation. So
Yes.
you're kind of
Yeah.
along for the ride for that reason. So if you have a character that's unlikable, giving them something that they're really good at gives gives the audience something interesting that they can latch onto, and also it kind of gives you an edge. And okay, well, he's at least good at something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Even
you're
if
right.
he's
Because yeah,
morally gray, he's at
I, I
least an epic at something.
I think most people like to watch competent characters do things in interesting ways that are like, oh, like that's a fun way to solve that problem or to do that thing,
Yes,
right?
yeah. Yeah,
And
you're
yeah, I
not
mean,
watching because you like the character. You're watching because, well, maybe I can learn something about negotiation here.
yes. Or you watch an unlikable character that's just like a good example is in American Psycho because like the main protagonist Patrick Bateman is a serial killer maybe and he's not like you're not empathetic to him but he's interesting because you're trying to figure out like what is his deal, what is his emotional state, why is what's happening happening, why is he doing the things he's doing. It's very
Yeah.
interesting, like his place in the movie and his place in the world. And then another kind of like mixed character is, you have Walt from Breaking Bad, who you start off as very empathetic to, and then he becomes more and more like villainous as the show goes on, but you still like watching him. He still is very competent for the most part at like doing the things that he's doing and figuring out how to survive the situations against all odds.
It's just so sad because this show had amazing production value. It had hour-long episodes, so you're not dealing with that, oh, it's just a 20-minute episode thing.
Mhm.
But they covered no interesting ground. They had amazing subject matter to deal with, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't pull it off. So it's
There's some
8
people have
hours of boring TV.
there's some people have talked about how in other videos I've seen about how like a lot of modern characters, and maybe this is really showing you where the mindset is for a lot of Hollywood-esque writers, is that part of the reason why I think a lot of these modern characters are so unlikable is that they have this like weird like narcissism is portrayed positively in like a weird way. And this show definitely suffers from that with the main character being very narcissistic.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of terrifies me where we're at in this cultural moment is because I wonder if I'm watching these characters and the people around me are watching them and going, "Oh yeah, this I do like this character. This is a likable character. I like the character that really does all the horrible things."
Right.
Yeah, who's a total self-centered narcissist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has zero humility. Who kills the person that saved their lives. You're
Right.
like, oh,
Right.
that's so badass. Look, he saved her, and now she's murdering him. You're like, oh my God, he shouldn't have saved her. Everyone's like, no, he should have saved her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's great.
Anyways, is there anything else? Anything else to say about this fucking horrible show?
Let's read. We have some super chats to
We
read. So,
do. We do, yeah.
but yeah, no, I guess I guess ultimately I am hoping that there's a second season because we can cover it.
We can hate on it some.
We can hate on it some more.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I guess
Well,
the only other thing
everything that's hated does better on YouTube. It really does.
that's
Because
true.
like nobody wants to watch it. If it's a good one, no one wants to watch our weapons review because they want to see weapons, right? They're like, I don't want any spoilers. I want to see this movie. Everyone's talking about it. It's supposed to be good. But if it's trash, they're like, oh, I don't want to waste my time with this. Just give me
Mhm.
the rundown and make fun of
Right.
it.
Right. What? Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that if there's something that's good, people like to, they like to see like theory videos, lore videos, hype videos. Like it's
Yeah,
a different
where
style.
where it's
Yeah.
going.
Right. I guess the other last thing I'll say about it is that, and we talked about this before stream started, was that, and I think this isn't just in this Alien show, but in a lot of the other newer Alien things. In the first couple Alien movies, they didn't have CGI. So the aliens were these like practical puppets. And because they're these practical puppets, which look really good, or like a guy in a suit or something, they had to hide a lot of the aliens with darkness or with fog, or, they would never show like the full alien generally like standing there and fucking, blinding light. And now because of CGI, like every one of these alien movies or TV shows, they have like the xenomorph pops out and it's like standing in full frame and like it's completely lit. And I don't think it looks good like that. I think the mind does a much better job at making you afraid of things you cannot perceive. There's a reason why at Halloween Horror Nights, when you go in the little horror booths and little haunted houses, it's really fucking dark and you can't really see the people that well. Because I remember once when I was at Halloween Horror Nights and I was standing in line for the haunted house, they were changing all the actors in the house, like at one point, and you could see a line of people in costumes walking into the back of the house. And when you see them, and it wasn't dark yet because it starts at
They're
like 6.
smoking cigarettes and
Right.
drinking
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, you see them all, and it's like the sun is still out, and you look at them and you're like, these are nothing, there's nothing scary about these people whatsoever. Okay. You could see all the little imperfections on the costumes, you can see everything about them. But then you go in the haunted house, it's dark, there's fucking noises everywhere. things are obscuring your vision and they jump out at you and you're like, oh shit, they look terrifying. It's like, yeah, because your mind makes the fact that you can't see is like what lets your mind fill in the gaps and make things more scary. And I think the original Aliens, they did that out of necessity because it was these little puppets. So you kind of had to hide it and cheat with the camera. And that makes them more scary. We're having the aliens be fully CGI and jump in the frame and you see it like in 4K. It takes something away, I think.
I think the big hook on the original Alien was the chest cracker situation because there's something very sinister. There's kind of like
Yes,
a rape analogy
of
with
course. Yeah.
the face hugger and whatnot, and the chest cracker. It's interesting that the original Alien script, that's the only scene that made it through the rewrites, the chest cracker scene. And that's the
Mhm.
only reason the studio bought the script was because that scene is so just compelling. And it's interesting that that scene has really become like a cultural icon, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that whole idea that they're going to take over your body and use you to reproduce, I think is just that's a terrifying element of it. And they try to recapture a bit of that with the eyeball alien
Yeah.
to some extent. So, but my overview would just be the main characters have no moral fiber whatsoever, and there's no clear storyline. It felt like the writer just got up in the morning and was like, "Oh, I got to hammer out an alien script today."
Hmm.
They really didn't do any time thinking about how is this going to come together in the end.
Nope.
So, and I love story, so fuck them.
Fuck them.
All right, let's
JMac,
read some super chats.
thanks so much. JMac, our surrogate father, for $20 says, as a super fan of both Alien and Aliens, Sing's IP get vandalized and violated time and time again hurts so goddamn much. So glad my kids got the same exposure to the only good ones that children me got. Just let it die.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I was super moved by Alien. Obviously, I painted aliens and drawn aliens, and man, super inspiring for me. And
Hmm.
the whole Alien franchise was really going Sigourney Weaver trying to save Earth by making sure that the alien did not get to Earth, and the evil corporation trying to get the alien to Earth, with the hubris of the corporation obviously being that, oh, it'll be safe, it'll be fine, we'll get it to Earth, we'll study it, it'll be fine. So the whole idea that, wait a second, there were aliens on Earth before any of that actually happened is a giant retcon. It's a huge
Right.
middle finger to all of the previous. I mean, it's basically the writers doing that lecturing scene in the ending of this season, right?
Hmm.
And just telling you, oh yeah, we're shitting all over your culture. Okay, you've had your reign. Sigourney Weaver, what she was attempting to do
Fuck
was
that.
frivolous.
Yeah. It was gay and late.
Yeah, exactly. The aliens were already there. She failed from the beginning. She failed before she ever got out of bed.
Hmm.
Before she ever woke up in the pod, she failed.
Yep.
How do you like that? Take that, patriarchy.
Even though she's a woman.
Look, they probably hate her because obviously all the anti SJWs come out with Ellen Ripley as like, we had strong female characters. What are
Right.
you
As a
talking about?
positive example. Yeah.
They're trying to retcon her because they're like, no, they didn't. They hated women. Look, they made her dance around in her underwear.
Well, I mean, also, I think that the Alien franchise, it shouldn't be a franchise. Like it's a concept. Like the first one is it's a horror movie in space. There's a monster that's really gross. Everything looks really cool. The monster looks cool. You have the Geiger uh like aesthetic to everything. It's like
Yeah.
creepy and weird. It works perfectly. Horror movie in space. You know, human has to survive. She survives. And then the second one is like a good remix of that because it's like, okay, what if we go back and we just take a bunch of fucking guns and just try to kill all the monsters, right? That's actually like that's a great like framing of the horror movie. Now we're gonna come back prepared to kill the monster, okay? And I feel like that was it. That's all you needed. And then after that, it's like, okay, well now we get into all the confusing shit of like, well, they want to make them into weapons. We want to crossbreed humans with the aliens. We want to find out that the aliens were like created by some ancient species that doesn't like humans, or like all this other like convoluted shit. Nothing, like, just forget it. Just
You
there's
can't
no
leave the
more.
money on the table,
There's
man.
no more. We've done everything we can do with the Alien franchise. Okay, just let it die. It was fine. If you want to remake every 20 years, if you want to remake the original one just to give it a shiny new coat of graphics, fine. But that's all you got to do with it.
What do you think of a District 9 sequel?
Um,
I mean, the long pause makes it seem like, well, you're interested.
well, because with District 9, I mean, there's a lot of left of the story of what could happen
Oh,
because
definitely.
we
Yeah,
never really
definitely.
found out what was up with the fucking aliens.
Christopher Johnson could come back.
Right. The only reason I hesitate is
It's
because,
because they're gonna fuck it up.
well, they're
They're gonna
they're
do the
gonna fuck it
alien
up,
thing. There's
but
gonna be
then
gender politics all over it.
yes, they're gonna fuck it up. But then also just because District, I've literally only seen District 9 one time in my entire
Uh-huh.
life,
Oh,
and
really?
I remember watching it in theaters, and it was very intense movie. I don't like body horror, so I was like, Jesus, and that movie is like body horror central.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about it's like The
And the
Fly. It's about him like slowly turning into the alien. Um, but it was good. And it was really good. Like there's like that scene I thought was like very emotional where they're like making him kill the aliens with the gun because it will
oh
only work
yeah,
on the alien
so
DNA.
brutal.
I was
Yeah.
like, holy, like this seems like very intense. Um, so I was like really emotionally invested in this movie. And then at the end, they ruined all of my goodwill because the main character, who's been sort of going on this arc to becoming a better person, at the very end of the movie, he takes
He
all his
fucks
character growth
over, yeah.
and yeah, he flushes it down the toilet to become bad again. But not only is like that offend me, 'cause I'm like, what the fuck? But then his plan is so stupid, it makes no fucking sense. Like it felt so shoehorned in. Like they just wanted to make some kind of message or ruin his character development by making him do something that's not only selfish, but so fucking stupid and it's nonsensical that I just like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm never gonna watch the movie again. They like ruined
It
all the
was too
goodwill.
much for you, huh?
Well, it made no
I
sense.
forgave it because I thought it built up enough goodwill. But I completely agree with you. The ending, his motivation in the ending is really ridiculous.
Yes, because like if
It comes out, well, it's plot driven.
it comes out
It
of
comes out
nowhere.
of, it doesn't come out of nowhere. It came out of the script. Like the script
Well,
was basically,
but it's like he's like, oh, I need to work with this alien because this alien is supposed to help me, like maybe become human again.
mhm.
And then he's kind of like suspect of that, which makes sense that he'd be suspect of that at the very end. Then he's like, well, I'm going to betray the alien and like try to control the ship myself. But I was like, well, wait a minute. First of all, betraying the alien is evil, at least at that point. And
Yeah,
then
where are you
B,
gonna go?
where are you gonna? What do you mean you're gonna like? You're not. You can't fly this. You don't know how to fly this fucking spaceship, and you can't go to the alien planet. Like, oh, by the way, like my people treated your aliens like shit. Can you fix me now? Like, they're not gonna do anything. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Well,
it made no sense.
all he had to say was, "I'll go with you too." Like,
Well, I thought
what are
that's
you gonna
I
do
thought
on
that's what
Earth
they were
as a
gonna do.
fucking? What are you gonna do on
Right.
Earth as an alien? And then
Yeah.
the sequel could just be on the other guy's planet. It could be like a romantic comedy, him meeting someone and
There you
like
go. He
falling in
meets some
love.
shrimp lady and they fall in love. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Right. Right. So,
I'd watch that. That'd be interesting.
JMac, thanks so much, Circuit Fire Dad JMac, for the $200. Thank you so
Wow, look at
much.
this.
Yes.
Wow.
Says, my mother once asked me why I always draw monsters, so I drew a picture of a bunny. The paper was folded several times, obscuring the rest of the picture. When unfolded, it revealed continuous xenomorph mouse leading into a huge xenomorph that was attacking the bunny. That's pretty
That's a
funny.
great.
That's amazing.
That's great.
There is
J-Mac
something,
knows what I'm talking about. Drawing those xenomorphs is fun.
yes, and I don't know what it is because I mean I was the exact same way when I was a kid. When I was a wee lad, I love drawing monsters and like creepy monster things. And I don't know, little boys just like to draw violence and monsters. It just seems to be a thing.
Hell
So
yeah. Hell yeah. I'm still drawing monsters. It's
there you
great.
go. That's true.
I was painting
That's
some
pretty funny.
yesterday.
JMac from $5. Hey, JMac says, no, you don't see billionaires have ADHD, and boy, George is Elon Musk. So it totally makes sense, you guys. You just lack media literacy.
I
I
know. It's
mean,
so weird.
you're probably right. That is sort of the direction they were going. That was weird. They shoved in that line where Kursk is like, "Sir, you have ADHD. You have to make sure you're not impulsive." I was like, "Ugh, really?"
And it's such a loss to storytelling because they have such hatred for anyone with money that they can't even write a billionaire that's cool, right? Obviously, Batman is a billionaire that's cool, but they're like, nah, he's got to be an asshole because he's a billionaire. He has money.
Yeah, I'm tired of the character. It's the same character. It's the social network slash Lex Luthor from the Zack Snyder movies,
Oh yeah, yeah.
billionaire boy genius character who is supposed to be smart because everyone tells us that they're smart. We don't really see them do anything smart, or the script has to like contrive them to be smart, but they're hyper ADD, fast talking, not masculine, like just cringe lame villain character, which is like, okay, I was fine once, but not every super smart character doesn't have to be that. Fuck, in the animated Superman, Lex Luthor was not like that. Lex Luthor was voiced by Clancy Brown, who, if you remember, he was the villainous guard in Shawshank Redemption. So he's like that really deep
Oh
voice.
yeah.
And he was just like he was a big tall guy who, he was very masculine and evil and imposing. Not every evil, rich CEO has to be fucking Mark Zuckerberg clone from the social network. It's just
Yeah.
obnoxious.
It's the trend.
Right.
It's a huge violation of the show don't tell rule too when they do this. Oh, everyone talks about how smart they are instead of seeing them do something that's actually intelligent. It's
Yeah,
like
you
the
never
other
yeah.
characters will just explain it to the audience.
Yes. You never see them. That's what's going to it. You never see them do something smart. Like there's never a point in the show where this boy genius character who was so smart at 6 he could build his own fucking android
Hmm.
somehow. He's like fucking Anakin. He built an android out of like
Which,
like scrap parts or
which is
something.
so I hate it when they do
Right.
that. They
Like
have no these people have never made anything with their hands. They have no concept of building something as one person.
Tony Stark built this with a box of scraps in a
I
cave.
I know.
It was like, okay,
Well,
at
at least
least
they showed enough and it looked janky enough that you'd be like,
yes.
okay, well, I
Yes.
saw he could weld and it looks like it's got welds on it.
Right.
Riri
Right.
Williams comes out with something that must have been 3D printed, but they can't 3D print with steel. What the
Mhm.
fuck?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. At least, yeah, in Iron Man 1, he builds that janky thing, which, first of all, they're giving him missile parts, like weapon parts to build a weapon with.
Right.
And then, yeah, like he uses it for like 5 seconds and then it falls apart. So I was like, okay, it's like very believable.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess except,
totally.
they had the magic power source, which is not believable. Whatever. I'll grant them that. So
Yeah. It's just, it's ridiculous. These people don't understand anything about the manufacturing process.
if you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, you should 100% watch it. That is a fantastic movie. It's one of the top movies of all time, probably. So,
I think it is. It's like number one for a lot of
yeah,
lists. Shawshank Redemption.
top tier movie. JMax says there's an article about it where the director said that exactly. What about the social network thing? God, so
Really?
cringe.
Oh, fuck. You nailed it.
Jeez. Or was it about the Elon thing? If it's about Elon, that's even worse. If they're like, it's just Elon Musk.
Well,
Which,
I
first of all, he
think,
doesn't seem like Elon Musk at all. Elon Musk is like way more autistic than this kid was. So,
Elon Musk is one of the favorite characters to beat up on in Hollywood now. So,
yeah, but he doesn't really act like Elon Musk. He
no.
acts like the social network kid, which even the social network kid doesn't really act the way Mark Zuckerberg acts either. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon are not quirky. Like they're kind of weird and autistic, but they're not quirky.
I just,
Elon and the ADHD. Oh
why did they have
God.
to make, I hated that character so much. You're in a situation where you're creating robot bodies for
Mm-hmm.
terminally ill kids. Talk about
Yes.
a character that you could make likable very easily, right? This person is building a technology that's going to save children from death,
Mm-hmm.
right? But no, he's like, no, I'm not really doing it to save the children. I just want to have a conversation with someone who's smart enough to keep up with me.
Right.
Like, why do you
Mm.
have to tell me that? I liked it better when you were just saving terminally ill kids.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know.
they do it to spit in your face. They really do.
Mhm.
Or maybe they're just incompetent.
It's just incompetent.
I like to think they're doing it to spit in my face.
It's just incompetent. They want to write a character that you see, and then in the first 10 seconds, you instantly know everything about them and understand every behavior they're going to do for the rest of the show, which is dumb because the whole thing is you think you want to make characters that you don't know what they're going to do because that's why you want to keep watching.
It's a comeuppance story about an evil billionaire. What does he do? He saves children from terminal illness.
Right.
It's like, what?
He was supposed to be
I
the
just
Dark
got
Peter.
whiplash.
He was supposed to be the Dark Peter Pantrop. Yes, that is true. That is true. But it was
Oh, yeah.
cringe. It was cringe and horribly done
the
and not
bo-
interesting.
The boy who never wants to grow up.
Like, it would have been much more interesting if he wasn't portrayed like that from the beginning. If you realize he's the boy that never wanted to grow up. Like, at first, he seems like a normal, competent, rational CEO. And then you're like slowly start to see the mask like fall, right? That's how interesting characters are generally written.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, oh no, from the beginning, you know everything about this character from just hearing him talk for 5 seconds. You go, okay, I get this. I get it.
What episode was a scene in where he does the meeting? I super hated that. Where he goes into the meeting and puts his feet up on the desk.
It's like episode 6 or 7.
He acts completely like ridiculous.
Yes, because he's quirky and he's an asshole. Yeah, of course.
But I mean, you're chasing me away as an audience. He
Yes.
puts his ugly feet up on the. I'm waiting for him like to jump up and spread his ass cheeks and like fart in her face or something.
Well, it was weird too because he put it the way he put his when he sits down, he puts his feet up on the table. He's like, it's almost like he's like asking her to fuck him.
Yeah,
It's the opposite of
come suck my dick.
It's even the opposite of that because he's like spread out, like you would spread out to have like someone, fuck you.
Yeah,
Like he's the woman receiving or something. It was very bizarre. I was like, what is that? What is this?
the guy. His body man behind him has the most disgusted look on his face. Can you imagine? You're a robot, and this is the guy who created you. You're like, oh my god,
Right.
my life sucks.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, yeah, how does that robot? Do any of these robots have feelings? Like, do they care about any of this stuff? So
It's just there. This scene. I mean, I'm rooting for the other woman who lost her package to this guy, but I know nothing about her, and she's inconsequential to the story. I guess she calls in the army to. There's just no grounding in this thing.
right.
I don't think the writers are thinking about that.
No.
Whenever I go into a scene, I'm like, okay, we've asked the POV question so many times. I know it's like, who is this person going to be empathizing with?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this person going to look at and go, oh yeah, that's like me.
Right.
This has none of that. This is like the porn equivalent of watching animals have sex. You're like, what the fuck? Why am I here? What's going on here? It's like two dogs fucking.
JMac or Circuit Fire, thanks so much, JMac, for $20. Says, my son is the same age as the hybrids and he's infinitely more moral than them. My daughter's half their age and is twice as smart. The show has two of the worst elements of writing. It's unable to write children and geniuses. True.
Yeah, how old were the kids? They looked like they were 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But they acted like they were 5.
Yes. Yes.
Which was ridiculous.
Van Darian.
They should have had a toddler come out and be like, okay, we're gonna put the toddler in the body,
right,
and see what happens.
Right. Van Darian, 29 for $5 says she's lashing out against her oppressor, Sitch. Obviously, she's in the right morally, of course. That is the vibe that it gives. Yes, completely ridiculous. JMac, our second far, thanks so much, JMac, for another $10. Says Space King episode 3 did human AI better in a fraction of the time, and it was actually enjoyable to watch. Watch Space King; it's pretty.
Someone else said that too, so
Yes.
we should check it out.
We should. M8566 for $5 says, "Hey Adam, is it just me, or are the In-N-Out outfits kind of hot?" Also,
Oh, definitely. Some of those girls are pretty cute too. So
I don't even know what they fucking what do they wear? Don't they just wear like white and red or something? Like
it's like a just white with a red apron.
I don't think they're hot.
What?
Crazy. You're crazy.
Oh, you're crazy.
No go.
You should get Sammy G one of those little in and out outfits.
There you
One of
go.
those little red aprons.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll get her little
Make
Hooters
me a
outfit.
hamburger. All right.
Ace for $5 says, guys, thoughts on the Ezra Klein episode with Ta-Nehisi Coates? That episode blackpilled me on the Democrats. Well, we'll probably watch on Sunday. So I'll let you know.
Oh, are we gonna watch it on Sunday? Nice.
Unless there's something else that comes up.
Yeah, I made it a minute and a half. I fucking oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand Ta-Nehisi Coates. So
Diasparu made a good 20-minute video about Alien Earth. He went over the article where the creator of the series talks about how his motivation for the show in 2021. It's about Elon Musk and socialism. No fucking way. This is about oh Jesus Christ. Okay.
the Alien Earth.
Yes.
There's an interview.
Apparently, you got to check that out.
Yeah.
That's fucking retarded. But not surprising.
Sad. Very, very sad. Everything has to be about politics.
Yes.
And it's got to be about politics more than it's even about good storytelling because I guess maybe that's the hook for people that we're just missing. Everyone is like, oh, yeah, look, they're doing Elon Musk and he's an asshole. I bet Elon Musk is at home really, really triggered over this show.
A TV show did an Elon Musk character and made him an asshole. Oh my, I've never seen that before.
He's so triggered.
Oh.
Elon Musk is instead of paying attention to the show, they're imagining Elon Musk at home just steaming over this TV show. Yeah.
You're right.
That's the enjoyment for them.
That's so stupid.
It is. That's what they wanted in the Mickey 17 movie. They were like, oh my God, Trump is so angry right now at this Trump character.
I know.
But they thought he would be at home after losing the election and Kamala Harris would be president.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work out that way.
JMac for $10. Thanks so much, Dad. JMac says this show is made by someone who loves Blade Runner but didn't understand it. That's probably true. Sam Josh, thanks so much for $20. Says off topic, would you please review Ari Aster's new movie, Eddington? Joaquin Phoenix plays a hilarious lead. Austin Butler, Emma Stone, and Pedro Pascal are in it. It is political. I enjoyed it, but I want to hear your analysis.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Eddington. I'll check it out. The thing that I want to see is Tron, obviously, and I hope it's fantastic. I hope we come on and say, okay, there's going to be spoilers, but this is a really good movie and you should go see it. So,
I'm not confident that will be the case.
You aren't?
Well, the last one wasn't very good.
I'm not confident about anything. We said that about the last one too, and someone in the chat was like, "The last one was great. What are you guys talking about?" Or someone in the comments said that. So, I only saw it once in the theater, and I was super underwhelmed, but I don't really remember it. So, I was just like pretty disappointed.
It had nice music. It had a nice aesthetic, but storyline wise, I thought it was very meh.
Right.
So.
Oh, Eddington is. I've seen a preview for this. Yeah. This looks interesting.
I like the original Tron film, but I mean, I know it's very dated, so I kind of do give it a pass on some of the dated elements of it. Cameraman502 for $2 says, how does one manage to avoid Shawshank Redemption? Well, it depends, because a lot of people probably today don't watch TV. So, because like back when I was younger, and before internet was everywhere, and you watch TV, yeah, Shawshank was one of those movies that was played on television like
constantly. Yeah.
Every fucking day. You would find it on television somewhere. So, all
right, great stuff.
Yep,
lots of fun. Loved hearing your response to it. Glad it was similar to mine. Glad you didn't come out and go, "Oh my God, this was great." I love
this. It made me feel things I've never felt before. This is top Kino TV show.
This was God's gift to gender politics. Keep it up,
Yes.
Hollywood. We love you.
This is like if Breaking Bad and The Sopranos and Dune had sex. They had birthed the perfect television child.
Maybe we can get organized chaos to debate us on whether or not this series was good.
Oh my God, please. I hate it too because I don't even like there's like weird political stuff in the show, but I didn't really like you didn't really like perceive it until the very end, I guess.
Right.
And it's annoying because yeah, I know people I feel like there are going to be people that are going to like it just because they perceive it through this political lens. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, you know."
I started listening to a review this morning, and the person was talking about how amazing it was and how it was God's gift to television and stuff.
There are there are some people, it has nothing to do with politics. There are some people that just like love to be hyped for everything,
Right.
and they have a very there's no way to say this without sounding like an egotistical prick. They have a very
A
surface
narcissist.
level, yes, they have a very surface level appreciation of things. So
Right.
like everyone hypes it. Like people go, "Oh, bro, it's a new Alien TV show! Whoa!" And then they look at it like, "Oh, it looks so pretty and cool." And like, okay, if that's you, fine. Like, I'm happy for you, right? I'm glad that you're happy. Okay, I don't want to take that away from you,
Yeah, I
but it's all
agree.
very
Yeah.
surface level shininess. Okay, a little, if you look under the roof of the car, you're gonna see a fucking mess.
If you love a show, I'm not one to take the wind out of your sails. If
Yeah.
you like it and you think it's great and I don't like it, I'm not going to try to win you over to my perspective. Different people like different things. That's why there's a wide array of different genres and different movie styles and whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think there are reasons why certain movies become popular and other movies don't,
Yeah.
which is very interesting and something that you can learn and talk about. So,
Yep.
but there are
Anyway, thanks for
always
coming.
outliers. Yeah.
Thank you for incredibly generous donations. Thank you for making it to the end, and we will see you on Sunday.
Yes. Take care, everyone. Sam Josh.
Oh, what do you say?
No,